Hello. Hey. We're live in this dunya. Is anybody here? Can someone hear me correctly? If so, give me a high five. Give me some of those views. No, but really, if somebody's out here looking for this live stream, stop by. We're gonna have a good time today. We're gonna talk about life. And yeah, I want to also share with you a couple of things that happened to me this week. And then talk about life, talk about a few things in our lives, whether you're a Muslim or non-Muslim. Feel free to stop by and chat. So I am live, and hopefully some people will stop by. So I'm just gonna go and do a few things before that. Let me see if I can see someone on YouTube. If you guys are live, not live as you live, but live on here, leave me a comment. Once you leave me a comment, I'll know you're live. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Saif, what's up? What's going on? Let's wait a bit until some people show up. I always like to start slowly because I don't know if people knew that I'm streaming today, but usually I do Saturdays. Last week we did Sunday, 5 p.m. Today it's Saturday, 5 p.m. So hopefully some people will show up and we'll have a nice discussion. In the meantime, yeah, let me know. How are you, Saif? Oh, I'm receiving a phone call. I'm going to decline this one. In the meantime, let me know what's up. How was your week? How's everything? How's your Ramadan doing? Ramadan, and yeah, let's start this off. I'm gonna maybe have to go and take this call, but hopefully people will start showing up. Let me see. Oh yeah, the best podcast in dunya. Oh yeah. Okay. So, should we reschedule? I don't know. Hopefully people will show up. Because I usually like if there's at least like 10 or 20 people here so that we can have a good discussion. I don't know if this was too short notice, but hopefully people will show up and we can do it. And we don't have to stream tomorrow then, because I love these streams actually. I don't like to technically set them up. Obviously, that's my weakness, but I like to just talk openly and just kind of have this relationship with you guys. So this is my favorite type of content, live streams, because any other video or interview that I have to do, I have to plan it out. Then I have to, record it, prepare for it. It takes me like hours. Then to record it, each interview is like 1 hour or something that I'm doing. And then, upload it, do a thumbnail, do all these things. And it's just so dragging. And then the other types of content, like with the phone outside, that's cool, but I still have to edit it. And yeah, so live streams are super easy. You just hop on and start talking. So yeah, salam alaikum, alaikum salam, Khalid. And yeah, so this is something I enjoy, really. Just kind of talking about dunya. Cool. I guess we can start. I mean, if people show up, they will show up. If people won't show up, they can check this stream later. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I'm ready to stream today. There's not going to be any streaming. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. I used to say assalamu alaikum, but I'm saying alaikum salam. By the way, if you are non-Muslim, don't be scared. Don't be scared with these words. You can also be here. This is not for Muslims only. But most of them show up, so it's kind of a Muslim majority show, but feel free to be here. Yeah, so how was your week? My week was great. We had a great interview with Daniel, and that kind of blew up. I didn't expect it, but really it got like 7,000 views or 7 something, and it's a lot. I never had this many views before. So there's a lot of like, I think like 400, between 400, 500 likes on the video, hundreds of comments, a lot of fighting in the comments. So a lot of back and forth between Muslims, ex-Muslims, atheists, whatever. I don't like that, to be honest. I don't think even Muslims or atheists should engage in those, because both of these groups are coming there with their agenda. So the atheist is going there to ridicule the belief of Muslims, and the Muslim is going there to prove to them that, hey, this is something serious, and to try to ridicule the atheist. But it's not working both ways, and I don't think it's healthy. And I saw some people were commenting, like there were like 50 comment thread about something between two guys, and somebody hopped in, the other guy hopped in as well, and they were starting to fight. And then like huge comments, like who has, like, I don't understand people, doesn't matter if he's Muslim or non-Muslim, like people who leave comments on YouTube, that's crazy. Like these big giant comments, like these people don't have life or what? Like to be honest, in my life I left a couple of comments on YouTube, but I never leave a lot of comments because I know it's pointless. Like if you want to say like great content, that's a great comment or something like that, or really good point. But if you're like giving me your opinion about life, like an email in a comment, I'm not going to read it, and the other person is not going to read it as well. And when they read it, they start thinking about how can they get you, how can they get a one over you. So yeah, it's definitely not healthy. Assalamu alaikum, how are you doing? Did you finish the Ghazali's book? Hey Said, what's up? Yes, I did finish both of them. And I thought the second one about during the end of his life, where he was kind of talking about what he suggests to his disciples, letter to a disciple, that's going to be boring a bit. But it wasn't boring, and it was like really mind-blowing. And I was shaking from his advice. So yeah, both were great, and I recommend you to take both of them, but it might be a little bit too much. If you're a new Muslim, these are a little bit too much, even if you're born Muslim. Assalamu alaikum, salam, Rafat. So yeah, a little bit too much, but yeah, go ahead and check Al-Ghazali's book. Some people were saying in the comments like he's a Sufi or something, you shouldn't listen to him. Then some people were defending him. To be honest, this is such a mayhem YouTube. Like this is, some people give me this advice, some people that. It's just a bad place to get advice either way. Then some people watched Brave New World, and it's obviously not suitable for Muslims to watch because it's there's naked people there, it's sex. And so like I didn't say that you guys should watch it. Like I know it was, we talked about it, but like those things, like you have to be careful. Even the show Vikings, there's haram stuff in it. Like don't use my suggestions and do them. I'm not the best human being here, and I'm not here to be the best. So cool. Anyways, I just realized I got some new information about voodoo today, which is very unfortunate. So there's always new stuff that I'm learning about. How's your Ramadan? How's your Ramadan? Because it's almost, I mean, what is it? The 1st of May. I got 3 hours until iftar. And yeah, I got pretty much used to it now. I don't even have headaches, nothing. And working out, jogging is pretty like second nature. So yeah, how's your Ramadan? Let me know. And we're coming to the last 10 days. So are you praying? Are you preparing something extra? Because last 10 days are going to be the best, I guess, the most important days of Ramadan. So let me know what your plans are. And today we're going to talk about a few things. But before that, I'm going to check the comments. The moment you said on Netflix, I shouldn't watch it, lol. Yeah, there's a lot of things on Netflix that are like pointless and bad shows, a lot of bad shows, but I find sometimes good ones. And this isn't a great show, to be honest. I didn't like it. When I finished the season 1, it wasn't great. But yeah. You're learning about your channel after watching an interview with Daniel. Yeah, Yahya, that's my name. John. I'm Jan. I'm John. So yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks. What did you learn about voodoo? It's about something I don't want to talk about. It's private. But yeah, it's something new. How did you meet him? Who, Daniel? Yeah, we met online. It's going good. Alhamdulillah. How many fasting hours are there? You mean like total? I think it's from 4:14 until 8:23. So that's like 16 hours, I guess. So it's pretty difficult. Pretty difficult. But it's good, alhamdulillah. But guys, I have to really ask you something special and something really important. We don't have time to fool around. This is a big question. And by the way, if you are here from Daniel's channel or something, I'm not the best Muslim ever. I'm not an expert. I'm a new revert. But anyways, what do you do? What do you do in your deen, in your iman, when you come across an issue that you don't know how to resolve? And this can be anything, whatever you think about. For example, you might have a hard time with understanding how Moses turned his sticks into snakes in front of the Pharaoh, or the moon splitting. How did that happen? How can I reconcile this? Or that there's actually Jannah, that there are angels. There are billions of angels, not just a few, billions of angels every day, everywhere. And then not just angels, there are jinns. Like just hearing this, and I'm not sure if somebody is here who's not Muslim or something, if you would tell me this a few months ago, I would say you're crazy. This is ridiculous. Because none of these things are like tangible. None of these things I can see, touch, smell, or prove, or something like that, right? You have to believe in these things. So how do you go about these things? How do you guys reconcile the fact that there's some supernatural things that you need to believe in, even though you'll never be able to verify if this was true or not? I think I have an idea what you will say, but let me know what do you think about this. And yeah, there's many examples of this, many examples. And many atheists or people who don't like Islam will point out these things like, oh, look at these people. They believe in jinns, like they believe in these things. Like, this is so stupid or something. So what do you guys think is the best kind of rebuttal? I wouldn't say rebuttal, but kind of response to this. Let me know in the comments. And then the second thing is like, yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of being like, I don't know, attacked by atheists, but even I'm attacking atheism. So that's kind of crazy. I don't think it's healthy that, I'm going to make a video about atheism with Daniel or with some other people. There's a new one coming up next week. With Angel, which is going to be like the best interview I've ever had so far. So definitely look for that. And we're gonna touch on atheism a lot. Like at least half of the interview is about atheism. So how do you go about this dilemma that essentially there is a clash of ideas? So atheism, Islam, there's one fight or one sort of thing. And then there's another clash with other religions. So Christianity, Buddhism, and all these things. And that clash, what do we do there? Sorry, yawning. So there are so many clashes of ideas, and I think people get obsessed with refuting each other online, going after each other. And I think just this week I saw a lot of things like I saw this apostate prophet, or who's this guy? The atheist, the ex-Muslim, sorry, made a 2-hour video on Muhammad hijab, the Muslim guy from the UK. And he was like this kind of making a destruction video about him. I think it was actually pretty good. It was pretty well made, and I think he made a good points, because I don't think everything that Muhammad hijab does is great. But what do you think is this environment getting us where these two sides are hating each other? I don't want to belong to any of them, to be honest. I don't want to be part of any of them, but I know I have my belief, which essentially I will have to at some point address. And sometimes I look back on YouTube and I'm thinking why did I even start with this? Why did I even put myself here to talk about this openly, when I could just be, what I could do? I could just turn off YouTube, turn off my socials and my emails, and just practice Islam or whatever in secret, be hidden in Prague. No weird questions, no crazy doubts, no people attacking me or something. and it would be just much like pleasant. But now I have a YouTube, and I constantly think about like, what am I gonna do next? Am I gonna refute somebody? I don't have the knowledge. What am I gonna do? Do I make a funny video? Do I make a deep video about something like I did this week? And those deep videos take me some time to edit, and then they are not really that effective. So I don't know. Let's talk about this. So I see some comments. Mohammed, Yahya John, he arranged an atheist versus Islam debate when he was an atheist. How he knows Brother Daniel. Yes, yes, I was actually doing it with Cosmic Skeptic. I don't know if you know him. I really like him. He's a really good guy. Because I think like just because you're a Muslim doesn't make you a good guy. Like sometimes Muslims can be very arrogant. So I think like, yeah, Cosmic Skeptic and Daniel were both part of it. I think Daniel's very well in terms of very well versed in debating, and he's also a very kind of like polite guy. But he can get very like hardcore with his arguments. So yeah, that's how we met. Rafat, a lot of such topics are discussed about in-minute videos by Sapiens Institute on YouTube. Cool. Yeah, I like Sapiens Institute. But even there, it's like, Sapiens. All right. Yeah. The Quran and the Prophets convinced me that they are from Allah subhanahu. I have to believe in everything they saw. Yeah, and I thought that this is something you guys will say, because this is what everybody will say, right? But is there anything else you guys have on your mind? The advice I go is to take good leave the bad. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. Leave the rest to Allah. What do you mean by leave the rest to Allah? Are you talking about the supernatural things? Let me know. Are you a Muslim? Dude, what's up? Yes, I am. Are you not watching what's happening? Yes, I've been Muslim for 4 or 5 months. I don't know. Something like that. Simrak Khan, how is Ramadan going? It's going well. It's going good. Alhamdulillah. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward to it to end as well. But next week I'm going to be traveling for 8 hours in a car. So I'm going to break my fast. And I'm going to another country. But otherwise, it's going pretty good. Did you read a book, Malanamada Towards Understanding? No, I haven't. So yeah, I think what you said, Yahya, is correct. And that's what I want to talk about as well. Because it's not, but we have to be careful here, guys. Because what I really hate is superstition and like blind faith. This is not something that's good. You should use your reason to establish that Allah exists and all these things, right? Superstitious people are very, I think, narrow-minded. And I would never accept Islam superstitiously or through just because I have to believe it. No, there's arguments put forth and reason and reflection and all these things that go together, intelligence and then experiences, first-person experiences. And those things are very important to have. And in terms of, belief in Allah, of course, and Quran. But people, like once you get into debates in whatever issue you're facing, whether that's hijab, women covering, apostasy law, like this is so stupid, these apostasy laws, in terms of just like debating, like these laws are not practiced in many countries around the world, and there was a reason for them, historically speaking, because Islam was part of politics and economics, and you were threatening the society if you would leave it. And these laws, I mean, I think when I was doing research, I just found 2 cases of death penalty, I think, in the recent few hundreds of years in Turkey or something. So those laws are like, this is irrelevant. This is not happening nowadays. And also there's so many of these topics that we get tied up in and try to justify to other people. And it goes back to one thing. If you're talking to somebody and they haven't accepted Allah, so those people haven't accepted Allah, everything else, everything that I just talked about, jinns, angels, 7 heavens, Jannah, Jahannam, Judgment Day. All these things sound crazy. Because they are. Like, how can you believe in that if you don't have any evidence, right? It doesn't make any sense. And I get that from their point of view, because I used to make fun of those things as an atheist. Like, how could you? Because it's too out there. It's too out there. But if we look at Allah, and if we look at the entire point that Allah is demonstrating in the Quran, is almost every story is sort of supernatural, or almost every story is about him giving you signs by splitting the moon, by the mountain collapsing, right? Or by I think there's a story of 3 people who go into the cave and they sleep there and they wake up and it's like a few hundreds of years pass by. And that's like another thing. The Moses and his stories of splitting the sea. Then you have a story of Isa, Jesus, and healing people and talking as a baby and giving Mary, his mother, giving birth to Jesus without being with a man. How can you explain that? Really, like, there's no way. Then you have Zechariah, who will have a child, John the Baptist, with his old wife, who's like 90 or 100 years old. This doesn't make sense. So logically speaking, an atheist looking at these things is like baffled. Like, almost all stories are very like out there, but the entire point that Allah, I think, is trying to convey in the Quran is also like, these things are part of the unseen, and the unseen, you in this dunya, you'll never see it. You can never see it because it's not part of your reality. We live in this simulation. We live in this computer game, sort of. And Allah is the programmer. Let's put it this way. And so we can't access the other dimensions. We can only be in this dunya. And we have laws of physics and gravity and science and everything to establish basic functions of the world. But there's something beyond that we all feel in terms of we all know we have consciousness. We all know these things. And they all point to the super, let's say, one being, one not supernatural, how would I put this? If you have a cause and effect in this universe, it all points to an uncaused something that's uncaused caused all of these things. And that uncaused thing, where the chain stops, where everything began, which is the source of everything, which is the source of the truth, of the source of the material, the source of everything that this world is, that thing is Allah. And the thing about Allah, or God, whatever, like we don't have to talk about just Allah now. We can, like, anyone who accepts the concept of God, we know that God is all powerful, right? God can do anything. So to then take those things and once we know that Allah exists, all those other things, they become possible. But if we're speaking to somebody who didn't recognize Allah yet, those things sound impossible. And therefore, if we get into arguments online or offline or in the dawah or whatever you want to call this, and we try to convey the message of Islam, that's so important to start with Allah and just focus on that. Because without Allah, nothing makes sense. Like, why do women cover? Why do women cover? There's a logical sense. Why? Then there's a sense, everything can be explained also or justified logically. Like, why don't we eat pig? Because it's unhealthy and blah, 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 blah. But it's mostly because Allah said it in the Quran. Stay out from this animal. And, we obey, but we can find out why. But the thing is, we know that Allah, whatever He says, He has the total knowledge. We just have the pixel, as a few people say. And so I think that's super important, that if you talk to these people who don't have Allah in their life, you can talk about these things. You should stay out of it. You shouldn't even mention it, to be honest. If they ask you, just don't answer them, or just say, like, it's really complicated. It might sound ignorant, or it might sound really like you're trying to escape the question, but you can just explain to them that, look, whatever I'm going to tell you will sound pretty crazy to you. So what I suggest is that we really go back and we talk about this world, and we establish dunya, and we establish Allah. And that's how you have to do it. There's no other way around it, because Allah, is everything. Everything comes back to it. And if you, those people that try to attack Islam, they just pick these issues which come from Allah. They pick these things, like how can you believe in jinns? Well, because Allah. But they never attack Allah. If you noticed, or maybe they try to attack like the principle behind, Allah or God, but it's not proven. It's not working. I think that's where the reason and our, arguments or whatever we put forth makes more sense to establish the first mover, the first thing that created everything. And so that makes more sense. And then everything after it, we don't have to worry about. Let me know your thoughts. I know I was talking a lot now, so I want to hear your thoughts. Dang, I missed most of this. Hope you are good. Our good brother, may Allah bless you. No, you didn't miss a lot. Just a few things. Thank you. Is the unfortunate situation of increasing Islamophobia, which is forcing Muslims to respond back. We didn't start this. This brings about both the good and bad of people. So when do you think this started, this sort of conflict? Yeah. Is it Islamophobia, which is forcing Muslims to respond back? I don't think it's Islamophobia. I think it's inevitable, because the values of Islam are incompatible with West at some point. Like when I'm thinking back to when I used to be an atheist, I didn't like Muslims or Islam because I thought it's oppressive. Because it looks like it from outside. Because nobody explains it properly. Like, why do women have to cover? Why can't they be free? Right? And it didn't make sense to my mind then. So that's the clash between freedom and West versus Islam and kind of restriction. So like, how do we reconcile these things? How do we, maybe more education and stuff? But yeah, that's the biggest thing. I don't think it's really Islamophobia though. I think it's more like ignorance, like not understanding what's happening. Just yesterday, I'm watching another show, like Spanish detective TV series, and there's a Muslim girl there, and she had to take off her hijab in the school because the school was secular, and they forced her to it. And the principal was saying to her, well, you understand the school is secular, so everybody is not able to like express their religion. And she was like, well, people can wear scarves and people can wear these things on them. Like, why can't I wear the hijab? Well, because it means something. And she's like, that means something as well. That means you're better than these people. And that means that. And then at the end, she had to take it off. She said, the principal said like, oh, I understand you have to take it off. I understand. And she said, if you understood, you wouldn't ask me this. Because if she understood, this means that she has to take it off, which is the direct command from Allah. She has to disobey Allah to get into this school. So she has to sacrifice whatever Jannah maybe for dunya. And this is crazy. This is what's happening in France, right? But yeah, that's kind of what it is. Islam started as something strange in the beginning and will be viewed as strange during the end. Yeah, I've heard this one before. Yeah, I've heard this one. Holding onto the deen will be like holding coal. Yeah, pretty tough stuff. I have personally seen these ex-Muslims, how they manipulate stuff. I would say make your foundation strong. Don't watch these channels if your foundations are weak. But why not? Because, you can't avoid this topic, right? I mean, if you all day just watch these channels, it might threaten your iman. But yeah, I think at some point you have to watch it, and you can't. If somebody then asks you if you're not ready and you will be not able to answer them, you'll look weak. You will look like you don't know why you're believing what you're believing, and you must understand why you believe what you believe. There must be a not just logical justification for it, but like there must be like a reason why you decided to be a Muslim or why you were born Muslim and still are. It's not just because I was born into it. Like, there must be a reason why you're still doing it. There must be a reason why you believe, right? And I think it's important to understand this. Yeah, that's my advice. It's in his hands. Yeah, I wanted to ask a few people about this, but I don't think we'll have time today. About the guiding and misguiding of Allah, because I saw this as a main argument also from the ex-Muslims and people like that, where, well, they said like, hey, well, if he guides whoever he wills and he misguides, isn't Allah essentially in control of it? And what can I do about it? Like, what are my actions going to do at the end of the day if it's not in my hands, it's not in my control? So maybe leave me a comment if you have any thoughts on that. It all boils down to the existence of God and the validity of his revelation. If he established both logical and truth, that is Islam. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a very good start. Especially revelation. Like, there are some things in the Quran maybe that I'm not vibing that much with, and there are some things where I'm like super into it, and it's like the collection of it. How can this be from like 1400 years ago by a man who was not able to read and write? Like, it's impossible. And just looking at that, and at some point you have to decide whether you believe or you disbelieve. And I decided to believe, because at some point everyone is deciding to believe in something in this life. And yeah, I decided to believe, because I don't think it's possible that Muhammad, peace be upon him, was crazy. I don't think that he made it up. I don't think that he wanted power. I don't think that he was a pedophile. I don't think any of those things, because it doesn't make sense. If you look at his life, how much struggle he's been through, none of it makes sense. Why would he do it? Why would you do this? Right? Almost every prophet, if you look at their lives, they had such a hard life. Why would they go through this if they didn't have 100% conviction that this is what's going on? So yeah, it's just, you have to believe some people, and that belief is something that's the essence of faith. And faith is really hard to put into words, like, what is faith? But yeah, that's kind of what I think about it. Yeah, if anyone analyzes Quran, its compilation information will conclude it's from God. I think it might happen, but again, there are people who read the Quran and they say this is made up. So it's not like that, But you have to really understand the linguistic, principles of the Quran. And yeah, it is a miracle, but like, for me, I was like, why is it a miracle? I don't understand. Is it a miracle because of its structure? But I don't read Arabic, so I can't really understand why it's a miracle, right? It's very difficult for me. But I saw some videos about the linguistic miracle of the Quran, and I get it. I get it. Do you know when sperms were discovered and how someone ignores such scientific miracle of Quran? Yeah. You're talking about sperm and the embryology, right? Yeah, I saw a few good videos on it. Yeah. And again, so like, these are, but the thing is this, like, I don't think you can call them scientific evidence, right? These are hints. So they are very specific hints about embryology, or like how a woman, how an egg and sperm goes together, and how it splits, and then how it goes and to another thing. And so like, these things are described in the Quran in a language that is both for people in the 7th century and for people in 21st century. So you can't say this is a scientific miracle, because it's not scientific. There's no science there. But it is like strange that this would be mentioned there so precisely to what we discovered now. So yeah, I think those are the signs. I don't know if miracle, but the signs. And then you have to put these things together. You see like so many signs. And then you have to be like, okay, there are signs, there's this. Do I believe this? Yes. That's it. When I see what these ex-Muslims are saying, I see what response the Muslims have to them. My faith only gets stronger. Yeah, but you have to have a response. You have to have a rebuttal, right? And it's like they can go forever. They can go on forever. Kufr is a tyranny, the worst of all tyrannies. What is tyranny? It's an unjust use of force or power, right? It is when you compel a thing to act unjustly or against the true nature. It's real will. Uh, why is it? Why is kufr a tyranny? I don't understand. Let me know. Something we humans can understand only Allah knows. He didn't create us with infinite knowledge that's free. There's free will and then there's qadr. Yeah, fate. Both exist. How can we? But how? But we can't. How they coexist? Yeah, I saw a great stream on that with Hamza Tzortzis and other people where they were discussing how can you have a free will and also qadr of Allah? How can both exist simultaneously at the same time? And you cannot understand this. It's only Allah can. But both of these exist at the same time. It's very difficult to get a. Yeah, sometimes you think about like, oh, it's so easy to understand Quran, but then you get into these crazy topics and it gets pretty crazy, and it gets pretty like, okay, there's no way for me to understand this. Human mind can't comprehend that. Where we end up, it's already written, but Allah has given us free will and we are accountable for our actions. I agree with that. It just makes sense, like everything makes sense. But yeah, sometimes, like, what do you guys do? Like in your free time, do you tend to think about Allah like a lot? Like sometimes, obviously we all do something, like we work. I'm doing YouTube, I'm going to work, or I'm working out, meeting a friend or something. But when you like walking somewhere, what do you think about mostly? Because I just can't stop thinking about this. And it's been a year and something. I can't stop thinking about Allah all the time. I'm just thinking about like, just like all the time I'm thinking about it. And there's nothing else I think about. Sometimes I think about the house that I'm going to buy or the money I'm making or whatever is going on in my life. But that's like very small. That's like side issues. But then obviously I always get to the question, okay, I'm going to die quickly. And then I just think about that forever. And I'm not specifically thinking about like Quran or something. I'm just giving it a thought. I'm just meditating on it and trying to figure out like, okay, what's this life really all about? Am I really sure in my iman? If so, am I really a good Muslim? What am I doing to increase, my iman? And it's like a never-ending story, always in my head. And then I read Al-Ghazali, and he just reminds me of like, oh, you have a lot of things to learn. And then I go back to dunya, and it pulls me away, and I'm just caught up in the dunya. And then I go back, and it's just every day. How do you guys live? Let me know. The question you posed and other ex-Muslims posed is so beautifully answered in Towards Understanding of Islam by Muhammad was very much influenced by this book. I have to buy it then, Towards the Understanding of Islam. I've read so many books about like Islam and understanding, like for beginners and then kind of more advanced, but there's still for a lot for me to learn. Alrighty, I was on the verge to leave Islam and Maulana book saved me. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Really, you were about to leave? Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine myself leaving because I've seen too much evidence for it. And it's not just the Quran and the Sunnah and all these things. It's in my own life. Since I became Muslim, I've seen things which I haven't seen before. And my life is completely different. Just like December last year, I was a completely different human being. I'm still the same kind of, but I've seen the changes, practical changes in my life. The big thing is, I mean, you guys are gonna find out on the stream, like not on the stream, but in the video with Angel. If you watch it, I'm gonna get married soon, and that's kind of a big thing. And I could never even imagine this. Never. A few months ago. I'm also going. I'm also doing a lot of big changes in my life, and just like these changes, I was always afraid of, and I'm not. And I've changed a lot. So yeah, pretty insane. Which books on knowing God and on knowing yourself? Check it out. I've made a bunch of videos about them as well. And then Letters from a Disciple. Where are you from? Hey, Dana White. Dana Magomedov. Who are these people? Are you a real person, Dana? Or are you just a troll? Where am I from? I'm from Slovakia, which is a country in Central Europe. It used to be Czechoslovakia. Now I live in the Czech Republic, which used to be Czechoslovakia. Now it's named Czechia, and it's very confusing. But I live in the Prague, which is the capital of Czech Republic, and it's the most beautiful city on earth. Like every day when I take out my scooter or drive a car and I just go around here, it's pretty impressive here. I mean, I love it. But I will move out very soon in some village, buy a house and the land, and do some farm deal. Congratulations. Yeah. Mashallah. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty intense. To understand it, I said it's just 100 pages. Not only Muhammad Ali, not Muslim, accept Islam by reading this book. Towards understanding of Islam. All right, you got my attention, Sahid. Towards, I'm gonna write it down. Understanding of Islam. Cool. Well, thank you. By the way, guys, the podcast or all the interviews are now on the podcasts like Stitcher or iTunes, so you can check them out there as well. And what else? Yeah, next week, a big thing is Angel's interview about him, about his Ramadan, about the marriage. We're going to talk about marriage a lot and about atheism. So, I mean, that's going to be amazing. And then I'm gonna do more content next week, and probably I'm gonna try out some comedy sketches or something like that. Because I've tried so many types, and I just don't know what's going on. So we'll see what happens. Allah doesn't want us to burden ourselves, so He knows what is within our hearts and understands our weakness. He tells what is greatest, so take it easy. Yeah, that's something very important, that Allah looks at the intention. So your action can be great, but there was a story when the companions were migrating from Mecca to Medina, and this was not a great change for people. They had to leave their homes and their families, and they had to move out to Medina, right? It's not great. You have to do it against your will. But there was one of the companions who did it, and he was happy because he had a wife, or he had like a lady waiting for him in Medina that he was supposed to get married to. So he was like very happy that he can go to Medina. Like, this is very convenient for me, actually. So he did the travel with the other companions. When they got there, Muhammad, peace be upon him, informed them that whoever traveled and his intention was to, not not, I don't know how to put it, not struggle in the way of Allah or something like that. It will not be accepted by him, because everybody else, he did the same action as everybody else. From Mecca to Medina, he did it. But everybody else, their intention, it was to struggle for Allah against their own will. And this guy did it because it was suiting for him. And I think that's very important, to have our intentions correct. And the intention is sometimes much more than what your action is, because there can be like Muslims who are like super perfect outside, but maybe their intention, they're rotten inside. So yeah, it's all about the intention. I think Allah looks at the heart and your intention, and you can't escape it. The podcast with some Muslims of India can contact with the. Yeah, I mean, that's. I'll check it out. There's many people that I have to talk to, but as I said, in my next focus, I mean, I'm going to talk about Islam as well, but my next focus will be on different things, and mainly in topics that are like gambling, porn addiction, interest rates, riba, right, and all these things that is for non-Muslims, so they can see the dangers of these things. May Allah bless your marriage, give you. Thank you. This is great. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. This stream was a success. I wasn't thinking that somebody's going to stop by. So, by the way, before I go, I want to ask a few questions. I want to help you. So let me know Do you have anything in your life that you need help with? Just leave me a comment, like maybe I'm struggling to get a job or something, and just leave me like some background information. Any kind of thing that is kind of bothering you right now. Dunya type of question, because I'm not a scholar, nothing about Islam, but just like a regular life question. I'm your life coach. I came here to help for free. That's my what's this? Vacuum cleaner. He's been charged. So leave me a question if you have anything in your life that I can help you with. I'm not a life coach, obviously. I hate life coaches, people who claim to be like helping other people with life. But yeah, let me know if I can help you with something. If you have any questions, not related to like marriage or something, but just like regular questions, I'd be happy to help you guys and see if I have any value for you, because I've been around this dunya for a while, and I think I can offer you some advice if possible. If not, then it's all good. I just like to be a counselor, and what I really enjoy, what I really found out lately, I like when people tell me their problems, and I really like I can help them quickly because I can just see where they're making a mistake. I'm not talking about Islam, like whatever it is, like, hey, I'm just trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to wake up earlier. I'm trying to do like self-improvement type of stuff. It's or working. Because I'm a consultant by trade. I do this for big companies where we help them set up systems, and it's always the same primitive questions. I just ask them like, okay, tell me how you do this. Why do you do it like that? And then we get to some question that they don't know, and I'm like, why do you not know this? And they just stop there, and yeah, I just kind of diagnose their pain, and get the money. So that's what I'm doing. That's my job. Nice. I'm struggling with procrastination since lockdown started. That's a great point. All right, procrastination. First of all, according to Islam, you should never be bored. As a Muslim, you can't be procrastinating. It's something impossible because you can always learn something. But anyways, I've been struggling with this for years. Just last year, I think, or 2 years ago, I started to kind of get a grips on my procrastination. Let me know how old are you, first of all, because this will affect that. But yeah, there's so many things. Even in lockdown, you can do a lot of things. In terms of Ramadan, obviously, it's not going to be helpful to work out, but I would suggest working out. I would suggest waking up early. I would suggest always, before you engage in the behavior that you will regret, such as playing games or watching a TV or whatever is taking your time, always have God consciousness. Like, I mean, you're Muslim, so it must be easier even. Always remember that Allah is there and He created you to have a purpose on this planet. And you're praying 5 times a day, so pray for your procrastination to go away. But always remember, before you start playing that FIFA or that game, I like to play FIFA a lot. Just remember that and have it as a signal in your brain to kind of step back and realize, like, okay, I'm gonna spend maybe 2 hours now playing this game, or I'm gonna like stop myself consciously and go out and work out or do something that's unpleasant. Yeah, so definitely procrastination. I mean, this is a huge topic, but lockdown, not lockdown, it's fine. I don't have any issues. All right. That's great. Salam, think living in the city don't help either. I guess moving to suburbs would make a huge difference, but suburbs are boring to me. Yeah. Suburbs are boring. That's my biggest struggle. Yeah. Whenever we go for a vacation or something and I see these houses and the land and everything they have, it kind of is like, oh, that's such a great life. And then I come to the city and it's even better because of like the restaurants and all these things. But now as a Muslim, I don't really do anything. I can't go out. I can't drink. There's lockdown everywhere. I mean, it's nice. It's beautiful. It's city. There's this life here. You can get things done quickly. But my job and everything is set up remotely in my life. So I don't think I have to, stay in the city forever. Excuse me. And yeah. I'm thinking about leaving Prague and going into the mountains because there are great cities out here, so beautiful, and they can be enough, and just kind of have this peace of mind. I can do YouTube streams from there as well, no problems. So cool. Suburbs. Let me know if you live in suburbs. I'm in the 12th grade. What's that? The 12th grade. We just have 9 grades here. Is that like high school? I'm 40 with 2 daughters and wife. Parents and siblings love doing the corner from me, so stops me from moving to suburbs. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you guys are like a bunch of people on the same street, right? That's crazy. I grew up like that. It doesn't exist here anymore. Like people move out to big cities and they don't really pay attention to their parents or even a family. But yeah, I would. Yeah, if you have your family there, that's gonna be a problem. I mean, I have my family spread out in Slovakia, so that's why I want to go back as well, so that I can visit them. Like it's just a 2-hour drive. Then from here it's 8 hours. I don't want to, do that, and it's a different country, so I have to do a bunch of tests, PCR tests to do. I do that if I had the speaking skills like you do. I'm awkward at connecting with people. Hey man, I'm awkward as well. Like this stream is awkward. I'm awkward all the time, and I don't have really great speaking skills. And I'm not great at dawa. I'm just talking to people who know more than me. So, and speaking skills like this can be learned quite easily. You know what I did? I started a podcast 4 years ago. I just made it up, and I connected with people who I loved most in my business career, like really big coaches from LA, people who are running design studios, working on Game of Thrones, and like really cool stuff. Multi-million-dollar companies, running multi-million-dollar companies, and they stopped on my podcast. I learned how to cold email people basically, and I have an agency around marketing as well. But basically, I learned how to get an attention from huge CEOs or huge people that I was looking up to, and I invited them on my show. And I had 3 or 4 podcasts at this point: one for technical people in software, the other one for business, for marketing, and it's been the best thing in my life. I've done like 200 interviews, and now I have this YouTube one. And this is the best because I get to talk about what I really enjoy, which is like Islam and religion and philosophy. But there we were talking about business stuff, and this improved my speaking skills a lot because I had to talk to them and connect with these people who are much skilled than me, and it's just great. And then I was put into a job where I used to sell things over the phone, and I used to make 100,000 phone calls. And I'm not that kind of guy. I'm very introverted, to be honest. And I would make those calls and I would force myself to make them, and people would pick up the phone and they would say, F off. And I would be like, no, and next one, 100 calls a day. And after like 2 months, I started getting good at it, even though I thought like I'm terrible here. But after 2 months, I started selling, and I started to convince people on the phone just with my voice to do something. And the same thing happened just a few days ago, where I'm working for this company now, and we closed a big deal just because I hunted down a guy and I convinced him not to go in the tendering process with another provider but us. And those things I only learned. I was never born with them. They were not. I hated them. I was the total opposite of a salesperson, and I'm still a total opposite of a salesperson, and a total opposite of somebody who's like good at speaking publicly or doing dawah. I also set up a meetup group here in Prague. I had 2 meetup groups where I would invite like 40 people, and I would speak in front of them, and I was terrified. Or I would go to Toastmasters, which is a public speaking course where you go like a bunch of people and you talk publicly in front of people, and you prepare like a topic every week. Let's say something about, I don't know, what you're going to do on the holidays. And there's people like from business usually, and you talk about in front of them, and you can embarrass yourself. That's the purpose of it. So you embarrass yourself, they record you, and then they show you how you behave. And it's like horrible to look at yourself like, no. But yeah, just do those things, and after a few years, you'll be like great. And it doesn't matter what speaking skills you have. You can have literally 0. And dawah, I mean, this is not something that's really speaking skills, but yeah, it connects. it's like sales. Like it's very, very similar. I'm still here, Manjurul. I'm still here. Yep, high school. High school is tough. I was procrastinating so much in high school. I can't give you advice because I only got my things together as a grown up. I'm 30 years old almost. So I can be your father maybe. But oh yeah, I was not very. What helped me, I mean, this was something natural. I used to keep a notepad, and I used to write down things that I have to do each week or each day on a notepad automatically as a kid. And then my grandma told me, this is something your grandfather used to do. Like, you're pretty messed up. And I was like, really? And then I just got obsessed with it. So everything in my life I planned out on these pieces of paper as a to-do list, let's say. And then I discovered that there's a thing called to-do lists. I was like, what? People really do that? And now it's everywhere. And now if you saw my Google Calendar, it's just blocks and blocks of time and ideas and everything. So that kind of helps me. So I definitely suggest you writing down everything you want to achieve next week. Today I wrote a list of 25 things I want to achieve today, and then whatever I want to achieve in 10 years, right? I have a goal for life, Jannah. What do I want to do there, right? So I have everything mapped out like that. I mean, it's pretty kind of crazy, I would say. But yeah, I was doing that already in the high school, so you can do that as well. And that will help you orient yourself. Okay, how you find your passion of mating and struggling with it? Shirina, hey, what's up? I never found my passion, to be honest, and I'm struggling with it as well. And I'm 30 almost, 29 still a young boy. Couple of months before 30. But yeah, I had a live stream last week about finding a passion, because the thing with passion is it always runs out. So you find something you like, and then it kind of bores you after a few years. So you have to find a new passion, whether that's a sports or anything like that. Now my passion, to be honest, is kind of this YouTube thing that I'm doing, because it's something I'm doing with my free time. I'm not getting compensated for it. I do run some ads and stuff, but it's nothing. And I'm just doing it because I like it. I like talking to you guys and talking to people about Islam or different things. And I just like to feel creative, even though all my videos are not that great. But yeah, I don't think you can find your passion. The best advice, here's the best advice. Do something to which you are pulled towards. Don't do something to which you have to push through. So this is an analogy. Like, for example, the sales skills that I was describing that I acquired, that was something unnatural to me. And that was something I had to push through and learn it for years. And then I had it and I was good at it. But it was never something natural. And I think a person who was naturally born, salesperson could be much greater than me, but they just don't put the work in. So you can do anything, but do something that you do in your free time. So whatever that is, the best thing is just go on YouTube, just go on your homepage and see what recommended videos is YouTube giving you. That will give you a hint into what you really like. So I saw a bunch of like religious videos, philosophy, podcasts, Joe Rogan, comedians, and I saw like, okay, this is something I really enjoy. I don't know what it is, but this is something I really like. So simple, because YouTube already knows what you like. So go on YouTube and just look what videos are being recommended to you on the homepage, and just see like if you can find a pattern there. And that's kind of how you find it. And then just do what you like to do, even in free time. Like, even in free time, I do these YouTube videos. I will never think that this is going to be big. I think this will never be anything for me. I truly believe it, because my life is set up already. I have different companies running. I'm just doing this as a kind of hobby. But if this ever becomes a thing, like if ever I get like 100,000 subscribers or something, that's gonna be crazy. But I never planned on it. So it's because you have this passion about it. You will do it still. So hopefully that helped, Shirina. Good luck. Good luck. Can't figure out my interests. Get confused. Hey, same advice, Sahil. Go on YouTube, check out your homepage. Same advice. By the way, also, one other thing is as a kid, you were doing something that you enjoyed without thinking about it. For me, I was already reading and writing at the age of 4, like a crazy person. And I was writing these books at the age of 5 or 6 and 7, I think. I have them home as well. And I was writing about just stories on the old typewriter. I was just punching and writing that, I'm an only child. My dad is dead. My grandfather got cancer. And this bear eat him. Like very disturbing horror stories. And yeah, that's something I was just pouring myself into. And I was always not tied. I was always pulled towards reading, writing stories, writing books. And all those things. I don't know what that meant, but I guess I'm doing the same thing on YouTube now. It's just a video format. So yeah. Dana White, I'm struggling with per addiction, trying to break it since 3 years. I heard it gets harder to break as you go, and I'm afraid it's getting me. So yeah, dude. We did a podcast with Haley from how to go about this. Check it out. It's about Pornhub, dismantling Pornhub. And we talk a lot about this porn addiction, P addiction. I had it as well, dude. I've been doing it since the age of 12. And I'm 29. And I was able to stop after 17 years. After 17 years of daily. And I had a bunch of girlfriends even, and women, and I was still doing it. It's so sick. So, dude, I know what you say when you're saying it's eating your soul, because it's a disgusting habit. It's the most I think this is much more disgusting than doing any other haram things like porn, not porn, like alcohol or something, because those things you will like, okay, you'll be feel horrible and then you'll be better. But these things is like eating your soul. So go watch that podcast. We talk about a lot of things, but yeah, it is disgusting. And it's again going with your iman. You have to increase your iman so that Allah stops you in those things. And you have God consciousness. That's what helped me to overcome all of these things. You can also check my How Islam Helped Me in 3 months or something like that, where I talk about how I overcame this P addiction, let's say. What's your view on the toad now? Would you try it or thought of trying it? Toad, you mean the Mike Tyson frog? I wouldn't try it because I'm scared. I don't like these psychedelics things. I had some experiments with drugs in the past, which I do not recommend. Obviously, it's haram. But I wouldn't try it. I think everything that takes you away from your natural state is bad. I think you would either way. You're gonna get there where the toad is when you die. So just stay in this dunya for now. Are your parents non-Muslims? How did you deal with friends? Yeah, of course. Why would they be Muslims? Because I became a Muslim. Dude, my parents will forever be non-Muslims, almost. Well, I mean, maybe not, but I think sometimes people are very naive where they think like people can change their religion here. It's not going to happen. I didn't really have anyone who was against Islam openly. I have a couple of people in the family, but they never said it to me directly. Just some comments and stuff like that. But I mean, what? It's my decision, right? So what can they do? It's very difficult because you have to talk to them about things and explain it, and then I don't know everything, so I have to go back and research what I'm going to tell them about this question they have about why do women do this or why do men do this, and why do you pray to Kaaba, what is this, like I don't know a lot of things, right? And it's just at some point I'm just like tired of it. But yeah, everybody in my life is non-Muslim, everybody, and it's fine. Alaikum salam, alaikum salam, alaikum salam. What do you think about Joe Rogan's views on Islam? I don't know. I saw him that I don't really watch him anymore. I used to, but I don't really do it anymore. I saw he had a guest where they discussed like some negative thinks about Islam, I think he's not the best representative. I don't think his views shouldn't be taken seriously on anything. He's just a comedian. So asking me this question is like, I don't know. I don't think it's important what Joe Rogan thinks of Islam, but he has a massive platform, so that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, do you have any plan moving to a Muslim majority country now? Unfortunately, no. No, I think I would go for a few months, but my heart is here. I'm here. This is where I live. This is where I want to spend my life. And I would maybe I'm gonna change my mind, of course. But it's just you have to understand every Muslim country has their own culture, has their own habits, has their own things, and it's not something I'm used to. I have my own culture. I'm not talking about Islam now. I'm talking about just like my regular. I have my own language. I have my own. I know how these people think here. I don't know how people think in Pakistan. I've never been there, and I think it might be good to go there for a few months. But after some time, I would definitely start to. I can't imagine myself living in a Muslim majority country. No, maybe. But as I said, like being a Muslim for me is not like, oh, I have to change my name now and leave and move to Saudi Arabia. Like, this is not what I'm thinking. Like, just live your life and be a Muslim here. Like, what's the problem with that, right? There's so many of them. And yeah, I think that's my kind of path. But maybe it's going to change. I mean, I'm changing every week. When we all visit Pakistan, I watched some beautiful videos with nature and some mountains. So I definitely want to visit with the wife, inshallah. I think, yeah, when they open the borders, I would like to fly out. Jazakallah, your inspiration. Thanks. What was the problem for you to be into porn while having girl? What was the problem for you? Yeah. I mean, the problem is that the wife or your girlfriend, they are not gonna satisfy you. So the thing is, like, your crazy desires that the porn amplifies, and you have so many categories and everything you can think of. Those things you can't find with your wife or girlfriend, and so at some point you're gonna be bored, and your ding dong, if you're a man, you know what I'm talking about. Your ding dong is not gonna go up, and it's gonna just stay low, and that's when you have a real problem. That's something we discussed with Haley as well, like the erectile dysfunctions, because you're so used to just looking at a screen at other people that in real life you can't do it. And so yeah, it just you kind of lose interest in real connection. So yeah, that's the problem. I mean, psychologically, did you dig hat? I don't understand dig hat. Would you prefer to move to Muslim countries? Yes, which one? I want to go to Turkey because I love Turkey. I want to go to Istanbul for a few days, maybe in a couple of weeks, sorry. And then, yeah, I just love Turkey. And it's still in Europe, technically. So because it's in Europe, technically, it's very close. It's not the best Muslim country, but I'm not looking for the best Muslim country. I'm just looking for a country where I can just kind of see what Islam is about as well. I've been to Turkey before, and I just like it. I think the country is also very modern, and I don't know. It just seems like a good place to check out. A very big country. So it would be Turkey, but there are so many. So many of them. How does one enjoy Jannah if you know loved ones are elsewhere? I don't know, Phil. You have to tell me. But that's kind of. But you don't know that your loved ones are elsewhere. There can be a case where, let's say, Christian will go to Jannah, maybe. Like, you don't know. But yeah, I don't want to get into that topic. Did the Tatars come to Czechoslovakia? You're misspelling it. Czechoslovakia. No, I don't think they came here. Maybe. Tatars. I don't think they've been here. Maybe. How can Europe benefit from Islam or Islamic principle? I think. How can Europe benefit from Islam? That's a very, very generic question because Europe is as a continent, like every country is different. So what we do here in Czech Republic has nothing to do with what people do in Sweden. So I don't know. But what Islamic principles we adopted? I have no idea, to be honest. I think we kind of strayed away from all the Islamic principles. Like Europe is the biggest, the most advanced, I think, in this, in the straying away part. So I don't think we adopted anything so far. I don't think it's gonna happen. At least not in my lifetime, but maybe in the future. Young Muslims on the use of social media. Yeah, I mean, I'm also like sometimes what I hate really is just looking at YouTube, looking at comments, and just responding to people like all the time. It's just sometimes it gets to me a lot. Like I don't want to do it. So I get you, and just watching videos, just being on Facebook or Instagram, it's sick. It steals your time. The advice. There's many apps you can install that will like track your time, but otherwise just consciously like stop yourself from doing it. Stop watching the videos, go do your dishes, go outside, just take a walk, and have a limit every day because it gets pretty crazy. And I actually don't like YouTube. Like watching YouTube, it sucks me in, and I'm there for a couple of hours. And it's funny because I'm doing YouTube, but it's the biggest medium of our world, right? But yeah. What's your hobby? This is my hobby. YouTube, kind of my hobby. Leisure, I jog, I work out, do some calisthenics. I used to box. I haven't been boxing for 5 months because of COVID, so we don't have any gyms. And then I travel. I like traveling. I like driving my scooter around, just like in the forest. What do I like? I like playing games. I like playing FIFA. Everything with moderation. Everything halal with moderation, not haram. What else? What else do I like? I like talking to people, but then I like to be alone as well. I don't have anything specific. Do you like to read science? Yeah, I love astronomy. I love Big Bang and the galaxies and all that. I used to watch a lot of shows about cosmos. That's how I got into Islam, to be honest, because for 10 years I was obsessed with the universe and with like how it operates. So that's my favorite type of science, the astronomy. And that's basically what the Quran says. Like if you reflect externally on the creation, you will come to conclusion that there is Allah. If you reflect internally, you will come to conclusion as well. So that was my conclusion. But I think it's fascinating. What's that? Science is great. Science is like sometimes like, oh, what, really? Giving you these ideas and stuff, but it's not a measuring stick. I don't hate science. I don't love it as well. It's something cool. I'm from Turkey. Turkiyele. Don't you think LGBT are from the reigning consort species? That's a deep question. I'm not that smart. I don't want to really talk about this because I'm gonna be banned from the stream soon if I say these words. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems, as you know. And yeah, I mean, that's not really science. It's more about social construct and fitting into social construct, which is being constructed currently, and not hurting people's feelings. But I don't think, I don't have any thoughts on that. It's a topic on a discussion. What's your opinion on the COVID conspiracy? I don't know, man. I mean, I what I did, I used to research Bill Gates's charities, and I was looking up his taxes, how he was deducting them for research in Pfizer and all these pharmaceutical companies, which he owns partially. So I don't know. I don't think it's a global conspiracy or nothing like that. I do think people are using it to make money. A lot of them. I think China did not warn the world properly a few weeks before it happened. They could tell us, but they didn't say anything. So I think there's definitely fault in that. I'm not sure if it's like artificially made virus. uh, but I mean, who am I to say? I don't have plenty information. Whenever I talk about something, just take it with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert, so my opinions are useless. I'm Joe Rogan 3.0, nothing. So COVID conspiracy, maybe, maybe not. And the vaccines, same thing. Oh, why has belief in God? Wow, you have some specific information. It's not that they collapsed. It was because the country split and we became Czech Republic and Slovakia. And so the Czech Republic never was a very spiritual, not spiritual, religious, and Slovakia was. And so when we split it, then I think this is the statistics. Um, there's actually a guy on the square like a few days ago, and he's preaching every Friday a Christian gospel or something and talking to people on the microphone, and it's so pathetic. I mean, it's not pathetic, but I mean, this doesn't work. And he's there for hours, like 5 hours, talking about how Jesus loves you, and everybody hates him. Everybody's just like, oh, this guy's annoying. So just like Czech people here, they hate everyone who talks about God. You can't do dawa like that here. I love astronomy. Astronomy rules. Do you believe the decreasing number of Muslims will be serious problem in the future? I don't know. It's the second largest religion, right? Fastest growing. Is it decreasing? I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I think Islam is here to stay. So whatever happens, happens. If it decreases or increases, but it's 8.5 billion, so it can't decrease that much. Salam, salam. Favorite verse from the Quran? I don't know that many verses from the Quran. You know, I'm just a new guy, so I will have to look into it. There's so many. There's so many, really. Yeah. Yes, true. True that. Theoretical physicist. Good luck. I mean, this is a field that I like, but I have no knowledge of it. So all I can wish you is good luck. I was muted. Sorry, guys. I know a lot of people here in my mosque who are from Africa or who are from Middle East or India, and they move here looking for work. And yeah, it's strange. I don't know. I don't know what these people think about because I don't have this experience of trying to go somewhere. I never felt this feeling. What is a better life, right? Like, how do you define it? Because it's funny because like if you have Islam, you should realize that like you already have it, the answer, but they're trying to have a better dunya life, right? I think there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of things that they see that they wish they had back home in their countries. But then when they come here, I mean, the first thing you need to realize, you're gonna be hated. People hate immigrants. Stealing our jobs, people will say. You will not fit in. It will be so difficult that I would just advise you not to come anywhere. And nowadays you can work online from anywhere. Like, I don't even understand why you need to move anywhere. if you have some knowledge of coding, if you know how to design or something, you can just set up your own business. But anyways, for people who need work, yeah, I don't think it's the case with the boys in the US who killed their parents, right? Their family moved there to build American dream, but their family was suffering because they were all the time at work. So like if you do this, you will be just like 20 hours at work. You will have terrible life. You will make some money, send home, and then just work. What kind of life is that? That's sad. The same thing goes for like back in your home country, I guess. So I think you need to have a plan before. You need to be sure that you have like a career or a reason to come here, not just like be a taxi driver, right? So yeah, if you have a plan, let's do it. Do you become productive doing a specific role? Yeah. There's different types of productivity. Sometimes you have to think deeply about something where you strategically think about concepts. That's when you need like 2 or 3 hours of just thinking and just no distractions. And sometimes you need like to get things done. I need to send these emails. I need to do the live stream. I need to do this and that. And that is something that you can do like on autopilot. And that's the easiest thing. So how do you become productive? You have to incorporate in your life good food. You have to incorporate workout. You have to, when I started my company, I used to think that just working is great, and I'm making like 100 times more than I used to make before. Isn't that crazy? And I'm working 2 or 3 hours a day. How is that possible? Because I prioritize my health and my well-being. So those 2-3 hours are spent like consciously doing something. Before that, 17 hours, I was just doing something, but without any thought, or just doing it because I wanted to do it. And so being productive, just incorporate health, relationships, friends, talking, going outside on the sun, catching some vitamin. All those things are more important than your work. And that's going to help you be more productive. Oh yeah, most people check Christian. No, atheist. There's no Christians, guys. No Christians exist. I don't know how to say this. People think like, oh, people in Europe are Christian. No, it's just by name. They don't pray. They don't go to church. They don't do anything. They just baptize. And that's what I used to be, Christian. We just baptize and that's it. We don't do anything. We do haram. So that's not Christianity. So don't say that people in Europe are Christian. On paper, 70% is Christian, but the reality is 1.5%. So most are atheists, and some like cultural Christians, let's say. Yes, very hard. I don't know. Just how are you coping? I'm just cool with it. I'm just good with it because I live in a big city, so there's some there's mosques, there are halal shops and stuff, so I can do what I have to do. Iftar in 1 hour, dude. No, 2 hours. Shirina, sorry. Lady, I guess. Your views on apostate prophet. Yeah, I think Daniel had a great debate with him. That was a giant debate. My views, I think Daniel won, but it's not really about that because people who watch this apostate guy will say he won, so who's right? It's just about clarification and stuff like that. True. What's baptize? Baptizing, John the Baptist. You put your hand in the water and you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And when you are born. You're a very good talker. Thank you. All right, guys. 1 hour, 23 minutes. Insane. I never had a live stream like that. So thank you for stopping by. And hopefully we'll catch up next week because I can't even talk right now. I'm looking forward to Iftar and just Ramadan. Phil, last question. Have you experienced any lows and doubts? Yeah, all the time. All the time. I'm also thinking about things, being low, then I'm high. One day is awesome. One day I'm like, yes. The second day is like, really? But what about this? And then I'm like, so yeah, it's just like that. But I'm on the straight path. Most Western Christians never even take up their Lord's name. They do not act that way. I've seen devout Christians talk about algorithm. Yeah, but listening to music is not a big deal. Like, I don't think it's a major sin or something like. Don't listen to me again. But like, yeah, because like you don't understand. Like, Lord's name. It's like, who's your Lord? Jesus, peace be upon him, or who? And adultery and all these things. That's what I'm saying. Like, these are not Christians, guys. You have to, like, I think we have a problem here. Like, people who are from Muslim countries think that Christianity exists in Europe. You have to really understand, like, I can't stress this enough. It doesn't exist anywhere except like maybe very Orthodox countries. 99% of people do not believe in God, or they don't think that God exists or something, and they are Christian just because they can go to Christmas. So listening to music and all those things, you're going way too far away. You're way there. Following a guide from God, it's way out there. Just recognizing that there's a creator. This doesn't happen here. So yeah, just don't say that Christianity is in Europe, because it's not. It's just it's outside, but nobody believes it. All right. How did Czech people become atheists? Communist rule, yeah. And just like, why should we follow religion, right? We want to drink beer. Music helps me relax. Good for you. Have a nice iftar, yeah. Will Suleiman, what's up? I think war and consequences of live hard in several meters together to go. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing we need to change. But I'm not sure I'm gonna help. Hopefully. What about the values that come from Christianity and we are not even aware of it in Europe? Yeah, that's true. The values are there. The values are there, like family, helping your parents. Values are very similar than Islam, Christian values, charity. But yeah, just people don't associate it with Christianity. All right, guys, I have to leave. Nice iftar, Ramadan Mubarak, and I'll catch you next week, inshallah. And let's do this next week. Watch out for Angel's interview. All right, guys, it was a pleasure. See you later. Bye bye.